Hey guys. Hey guys. So I've been struggling a lot this week with choices. I've been struggling a lot with choices for a long time. And as you guys all know, I have this control dilemma that I'm working on. See, even right there, my brain didn't want to say it out loud in case I made it more true. I just hope this is relatable to everyone out there. So I've made some really brave choices lately. I have left my teaching job. I've left the security of that to do my healing full time. And then as I want to do my healing full time, I feel like my angels and guides are pointing me towards my passions in acting, which is also something that I put on the side. And I've just been reeling. I felt like, so I've been doing a water fast because my body's been wanting me to do one and science has been showing me that I should do one for ages now. And I finally, again, got the courage to do that. A lot of courage, guys. A lot of courage. And I'm on day 4 and I'm feeling great. I'm going to stop it tomorrow. But I've been feeling my channels really open. Really open. When I meditate, I kind of isolated for 3 of those days. I had a friend over yesterday and man, I could feel all their energy. It's wow. It's nice. And so I have a healing client this afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. Privacy disclosure, can't tell you guys, but we'll see. I'll see. Me and the client will see. But what I've been trying to say is maybe like me, a lot of you out there are getting bogged up, especially in this moment of coming out of COVID, coming out of lockdown, wherever you are. It's been making a lot of us face what we haven't really gotten right in our lives. It's been making me face what I really haven't gotten right in my lives, which is capitalizing on my talents. Capitalizing on, actually even smaller than that, like noticing my self-worth. And even smaller than that, noticing the journey's always been to now. And there's really nothing else. And if COVID isn't showing that to you, you're in the process. Believe me. I don't think anyone's going to be left behind. We're all shedding a skin. You know, I hear all the spiritual community talking about old establishments dissolving. And really, this is just a moment in the fraction of eternity. And we are in the process of whatever process we're in. And so today I was freaking out about closing timelines and all this kind of stuff, which I let infiltrate my own thinking, because really what led me to spirituality was more of a Buddhist concept that we're allowed to be whatever we're allowed to be. And that we're all the Brahman divided, Godhead divided, here to experience everything that we are in its fullest nature. And even that conflict of division, of getting things wrong, all those fraud emotions. I hope you're going through them too. Ugh. God, did they make those moments of reprieve feel so good? So who the hell's out there experiencing light all the time? I know that healing my clients makes me really happy because I'm providing a service. And I might be worrying about wrong and right all the way until that moment. Am I fulfilling my fate? Am I manifesting things the quickest? I'm watching manifestation videos all the time because I'm trying to look for inspiration on how to do my own. And I'm forgetting who I am on the way, which is fine because we're here to forget so that remembering can be so blissful. Another thing I remembered today, whilst wondering, should I follow this timeline, cancel my last client, just go, well, I'm going to do the acting, because if I just give full force to the acting, then I'm letting go everything else, and that'll give full steam into my life. I just thought, what's the race? What are your values, Pierre? What have you learned personally, as yourself, that you can uphold as core truths fully because they're undoubtedly sources of your joy rather than sources of getting it wrong or right. They're wholeheartedly and fully sources, I wanted to say sources of manifestation. I don't know why. I'm just going to say that. But wholeheartedly sources of the proof of what you are learning in this lifetime about what it means to be a conscious being living in a human vessel. So you might not remember all your past lives. You know, you might not be in tune with the aliens. You might not be certain you're seeing your angels and your guides. But guys, my spiritual awakening had none of that. It was mineral realm and source. And I don't know if I was astral projecting or not. I don't know what was happening. I just knew I had an outer body experience one day where all of time needed to, all of my eternity of life had to happen to converge into that moment. Like it was a computer program that was programming every moment until that moment. And then it kind of unlocked, like it went into to function, operate, computer program. And it ended with an outer body experience. And what I experienced was just another side of something. It felt like undifferentiated bliss. It felt like undifferentiated. I don't know. It didn't feel like any words. But I left it thinking, if that's death, then everything here is perfect. Because I felt like I was nowhere that was here. Guys, again, words don't describe it. So coming back to here, because here's where we're meant to enjoy, and joy is actually in front of us constantly if we're not comparing. And if you're comparing, laugh at the moment you catch yourself and enjoy that. That's the joke about joy. It doesn't depend on anyone. It just happens. And it's going to happen differently in everyone. And thank God for them. And thank God for that. And thank God for all of it. And so today, when I was in the midst of all these ideas of getting it right or wrong, I remembered one thing. I have constantly left a phase of my life to look back and realize, actually, things were pretty damn good then. Constantly. Enough years pass by, usually like 2, and I look back and I go, God, those were good years, huh? Look at the friends I had. Look at the city I lived in. Look at the beauty around me. Look at the food I had access to. Look at the conversations. Look how much this friend related to me on The Simpsons. You know, some utter bullshit, but that was genuine to me at that moment. Undeniably genuine. Not in the past, not in the future. That moment. Not in a moment of lack, but let your moments of lack live in you. Okay, they might be pulling you to something. Torture, burgeoning, rebirth. Maybe it's that little. Maybe it's that mundane. Maybe it's that right here. And that's as spiritual as anything else. And one day, after realizing this constantly, that after doing it a couple times, of looking back and being, even when my dad died, of being, God, being held and supported by my family then was so profound, so powerful. God, learning about psychiatry at that age was so fulfilling. Because I was sent to see psychiatrists. The friendship I made with this other kid, because he was fucked up, was so fun. I just have to start asking myself, who says I'm not living that right now. Maybe I can know it for a second. Maybe I can know it for a glimpse. But I probably am. And you probably are too. So don't get it right. But just hear this and store it in the back of your mind. And know that life is a miracle in that sense, without anything more happening. Even if you were doing everything wrong, what was your joy in that thing you had to overcome? Maybe it's better not to beat ourselves up, but to just be allowed. I just thought of a nerd fact. You know, in Portugal, when they had a huge heroin problem, what they started to do and had great results was allow people to do heroin. They created little heroin shops with A grade, like if you live anywhere where there's medical grade cannabis, like you're from Canada, you know how good medical grade cannabis is because the government's allowed to grow it with all their resources. I've never done heroin, but I can just imagine from watching Train Spotting or some shit how incredible medical grade heroin must be to a heroin addict. And what they did is they invited people into these. God, healing is so easy when you think about it in that terms. Heroin addicts being given permission to do heroin at whatever dose they wanted. Given clean needles, all the equipment clean, sterile, safe. Guys, legalize prostitution. What are we doing? What they learned, what they found, was that allowing them that completely and having the offer there for rehab, if they ever wanted anytime they came in, with a nice person to greet them, allow them to make the choice, and people just most regularly consistently lowered their dose. They needed it less. So, let's give up on these divisional narratives. Let's give up on a heightened idea of success. You'll never know if it feels any better than to be you. So guys, love where you're at and love what you're doing. And try and enjoy yourself. And even if you don't, just know a day's going to come where you really do. Healer Holly. From the heart, I guess. Over and out. Like and subscribe, please.